Hi Aries, what's going on? We are here with your reading, what you need to know for December. The first card that we have out is Ten of Swords, but I am seeing the Chariot on the bottom of the deck. Okay, we have Ten of Swords and we have Nine of Swords. And we have Page of Swords and we have Queen of Wands. Ten of Swords does feel like something happening, like there's no more like leading up to the moment, like the moment is here. But what feels like it's more intense than the moment actually happening feels like the maybe worry about what's to come. See how the Nine of Swords is following, where it's like it almost feels like was this that as big of a deal as this is? Because this is feeling kind of like I see Nine of Swords as there being a concern about like what's going to be happening, and there can be anxiety that's connected with that. And then having that Page of Swords be there too. This can even be like a viewing that's happening. There can be an observing that's happening about things too. And then I'm also seeing Queen of Wands there as well. The thing about this is that like Queen of Wands is seen as being in a position where there's actually a sense of being generally comfortable to be in that spot. So when we have these two cards, it feels like from a comfortable position, sort of observing something and watching something that's happening, and this sort of being the thing that's going on here. Let's see what this is. Let's clarify. What is this Ten of Swords? Six of Swords, Ten of Swords, both coming out to clarify. Understanding allows for the completion of this. I feel like this is something that sort of pushes you into quite a big change, because I'm seeing Pluto on the bottom of the deck. In an emotional sense, something is being understood. And this thing that's coming to an end, it looks like it's associated with a chapter that's completing. We're gonna see more. Okay, so this thing that's going on, it closes out. Page of Swords is looking. I feel like Nine of Swords feels like the stuff that there's concern about, the stuff that there's worry about. Page of Swords is looking at that and saying, what can I learn from this? And how can I sort of take that and contain it, to concentrate it, to understand it, and to sort of bring this back to a part of myself that honestly feels like less, I think, impacted by this that's happening. Like I see more of a cool, calm, collected energy actually from this Queen of Wands here. Like it feels like not really sweating things so much. Like there can be a part of you that could have felt sort of like been going through something big, I think more so on a psychological level. And then this Page of Swords feels like you sort of observing yourself going through this process, what that looks like for you, gaining information about that, and that really giving you important information here. Now the next cards we have out are Nine of Cups, which is connected with a wish fulfillment. And then we also have the Fool, which is, if you want this, are you willing to take a risk for it? And it's the Nine of Cups, so why wouldn't we? Because Nine of Cups is ultimately something that we want very much, something that we want very badly. And so if you want it that badly, wouldn't it be worth taking the chance? And it does feel like this cycle is concluding, so what can emerge from it is what you want. And that being the Nine of Cups and what the Nine of Cups contains. But there's a part of you that, even though what you want is now becoming attainable in a way that it wasn't before, there can still be this feeling of, oh, I have to embrace something that feels like a risk to me, or I have to take this chance here. And it feels like that anxiety before you go into something when you are unfamiliar with something that you're going to be stepping into. So it actually feels kind of normal. Some of you maybe getting outside of your comfort zone for a role that you're going to be playing. But this is something that you want, because we have that Nine of Cups there. If you want this, you have to get outside of your comfort zone. But because we have this King of Pentacles here, this is like, if you want to play this role, you're going to have to sort of expand a bit here. You can have to like think outside of the box, or you have to break some type of routine as well. I feel like you're also gaining a lot of information about what sort of gets to you, what worries you, what you have concerns about, what sort of triggers anxiety for you, what types of thoughts get brought up when you're in like more of a pressured situation. But now you get the new cycle. This is a breakthrough for you. Some of you, this is a breakthrough for your career. Why I'm saying that is because King of Pentacles is here next to the Ace of Swords. This can be, for some of you, it can be somebody offering you a job. For some of you, you know this person, or you've worked with this person before, or there's something about being familiar. Because I'm seeing also the Six of Cups here too. What is the Queen of Wands doing here? I feel like the part of you that when we think about Queen of Wands, this is somebody that is really in flow with a rhythm that feels true to them. Nine of Cups is connecting with Queen of Wands. So if Queen of Wands is the part of us that we're doing what feels true to us, what feels right to us, what allows us to express ourselves in the ways that we want to attract what we want, to be creative in the ways that we want, to be showing up in the ways that we want. If there's something here that you're getting connected with, it feels like some difficult time is coming to an end, or something that was challenging to move through psychologically is closing out. And now you have this burst of new energy because a new cycle is beginning here. And it feels like there's a union now that's happening between King of Pentacles and Queen of Wands. As much as there can be a part of you that is like sort of thrust into kind of a new or a different situation, or something where you have to sort of be open to things being different than what you were familiar with, you can feel like it's worth it because this also includes what you want. So in order for something to be what you want, you sort of have to do this. It's worth it, even though because we have the Nine of Swords here, there can still be a, like, what's going to happen, what's going to happen, what's going to happen. if you're going somewhere where you're not super familiar with where you are, there are lots of different things that can happen, and this can be stuff that is sort of like taking up some space for you, but then also observing that. And so I feel like you're getting more familiar with, I think, the landscape psychologically of what gets to you, what stresses you out, what worries you. And also to learning more about how to walk in new territory, how to take steps in new territory and make the steps count. And coming back to the energy of the Queen of Wands, this feels like there's a part of you that may have sort of been in the shadows that now can maybe come out a bit. Maybe this is a part of you that's been wanting something, but because of whatever situation you were in before, this part of you was like, got to put my dreams on the back burner again. And now this part of you is getting a really great opportunity to show up. This can be a part of you that maybe you have something to say. Maybe you have something to express. Maybe you have something creatively that you want to be doing. Maybe you have just a situation that you wanted to be in, that you want to be maneuvering within. Maybe you wanted something that feels fresh. Queen of Wands is something that it thrives off of inspiration. It thrives off of stuff that really fans life force. And so having this Ace of Swords here can feel finally like that's here. Finally like that new cycle is here. And it can be after going through a lot of stuff that it took to get here. Because it feels like something, you had to do something challenging in order to afford this opportunity. I feel like you've been working for this. Because Eight of Pentacles is showing that you've been here and you've been doing things and you've been contributing, but then having that Ace of Cups feels like there's a reconnection with things. So this can even be like a reconnection with the work that you've been doing. It can be reconnecting with a role. It can be reconnecting with a part of yourself. Also, too, there's going to be discovery within this, too. Again, like for some of you, this can be a new job that you're getting. It can be a new role that you're playing. When I say a new role, it can be something like maybe there's, like you're a parent, okay? So that can be a new role that you play. Like maybe you're having a baby, or maybe you become an animal parent, or maybe you are working on a project with somebody, and so you're becoming a creative partner. That would definitely be fitting with King of Pentacles and King of Wands. So there can be stuff that's being done here where even though King of Pentacles implies that you are established, at the same time we have the Fool here, which shows that there's some stuff where there's going to be a bit of a learning curve as well. But having the Nine of Cups here feels like you want this, and that feels very, very clear. And I think it's just going to be clarified the further along that you get with this. And I also feel too like if there had been any stagnant energy, it's breaking that up. It feels like this is refreshing something for you, where you feel like a renewed sense of connection with the work that you're doing, or with your current investments that you have. Some of you, this can be like a new contract that's opening as well. And this can also be something that feels like it can maybe like redefine stuff that you're doing within your life that feels like big, important, significant stuff. So I feel like the month is sort of going to be about allowing something to be closing out, working with the part of you that's sort of mentally transitioning here, learning from the part of you that gets worried or that has concerns. I think also like using that to fuel your inspiration as well. Like, how do I take this anxiety and use this to motivate me? And how do I create something with it? Because we have Queen of Wands. How do you use this and transmute it in a way that's going to give you insight and that's going to allow you to see things clearly? To feel like this is, even in a way, a new energy or a renewed energy that you are working with. Because I feel kind of like by the end of the month, what happens is that I feel like you see yourself in a way where you're like, wow, look at what I'm capable of. By the end of the month, this feels like by the beginning of January, the feeling that you're going to have is feeling like the Queen of Wands. Like, what does that mean? It means like, wow, look at what I'm capable of. Look at what happens when I listen to myself. Look at what happens when I allow to like motivate myself and what I can create and what I can connect with and what is possible for me. So you start off going through a bit of a transition, but then you end feeling like it's that clean new cycle that's being started and that you've worked through the stuff and you even have like peace of mind. You have whatever remnants were going on before are worked through, so you feel like you can just focus on what's in front of you. By the end of the month, you're feeling like that. And also too, having this Nine of Cups is something that I want is going on now. And there can be a part of me that's like, I don't really know what this is. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm here trying to figure this out. This can feel uncomfortable. I can have to be creating new neural pathways, new neural networks. I can be pushed sort of to my limits or outside of my comfort zone. Or I have to be more creative here. Or I have to do things and learn things that I'm unfamiliar with. Because we have Page of Swords and we have King of Pentacles. Page of Swords is going to be learning, asking questions, figuring stuff out, researching, like getting feedback or calling that person, figuring out how to do things that need to be done. And it feels like this is about, if you're going to be playing this role, gathering information that you need, finding things out that you need in order to do this adequately. So even though we have Nine of Cups here, which is what you want, I think that there's also anxiety, like this is new and this feels uncomfortable to me. And because we have the Fool here and that starts at 0, it can feel kind of like I'm starting this new venture here and I feel like I'm sort of at the beginning of this in a way. Like this is the beginning of a journey. And yes, we have Nine of Cups there saying like you want this, you've wanted this. At the same time, because of that newness, there's going to be a having to sort of find your way through this and to figure things out too. So you have to be kind of flexible in that way. I think like mentally flexible, which can feel difficult when you're in sort of a strange environment. What I'm seeing is going to be the aftermath of this is, I think, like having this renewed connection with yourself of what you are capable of when you are really honoring yourself, when you're honoring what you want, when you are honoring what feels true for you and going for the things that you want to go for. And that the things that you want, they are really possible to obtain. And so I do feel this sense of being settled by the end of the month. It feels like a transition is even complete and that you're just like fresh to sort of start and move from there. So what this is that you're going through in the beginning of the month, it feels like, why is it so challenging to move through that? It feels like it's forcing you to be flexible in a way that can feel somewhat uncomfortable. So this can be like, I've been doing this, or I've been playing it safe, or like this has just been like the same thing over and over again. Having that Ten of Swords is saying, well, something else is happening now. It's going to be different then. So you can feel a little bit destabilized by that. I think patterns can be shifting, like habits can be shifting, routine can be shifting, and there can be also a need to adjust mentally as well. This feels more so in the beginning though, in the beginning of the month. And there can be, maybe you're worried about some stuff going on in your personal life, worried about, concerned about, thinking a lot about, to the point where you can feel like it consumes you a bit. This can be something that you more so keep to yourself though. Like I see this being like more of a like private concern, if anything. Or it can be like nobody else really knows, or maybe just the people that you're closest with. And it can be something that feels like I get like a feeling of an adjustment here. So going through this, it can feel like it's a personal adjustment, and so it can stress you personally. But it feels more so because of this feeling like what was familiar being broken up. Because we have Nine of Swords going back into the deck with Queen of Pentacles, and when we have Pentacles, there's already like, this is my routine, this is established, this is what I'm comfortable with, this is what I'm familiar with. I drive home this way every day. It's like the same thing over and over. Like I eat the same meal for dinner every night. It's kind of like that type of thing. I mean, this can be a bit of an exaggeration, but it's kind of that, like, I know what this is, I've established it, it's effective, it works, it's familiar, but now being broken out of that. And it feels like it's also being emphasized by seeing Page of Swords be connected with King of Pentacles, which is again saying, sure, you are established in this way, but Page of Swords is saying, now you have to open up your mind again. Now there's new stuff that you're learning. Now there can be a bit of a learning curve here, where you have to figure out how to work in this realm now. And how does that work? Like in this territory, how do things work? And so you have to sort of reestablish a routine that works in the here and now, because you're in a new place. So how is that gonna work? And that can be something that like stresses you out initially. I feel like pairing these energies is gonna be really helpful to you. And you can also be, for some of you, there can be a partner that's supporting you, or you can be getting feedback from somebody that you're close with, or this can just be about marrying the energy in a way that is beneficial to you. It can be sort of joining in different qualities that can be helpful for you to embody currently. The part of you that wanted to connect with your inspiration and passion, this feels like a new chapter for that part of yourself. With the Queen of Wands, there can also be something that has to do with like recognition or something of that. Like it doesn't have to be, but it can be whatever sort of like feeds your life force. This can be a new chapter for that part of yourself, where you can feel like a redefined sense of purpose. I'm definitely seeing this be a big thing, like this is really exciting, this is what you wanted, and it being really fantastic for that reason. Going into this full steam ahead, just like charging through and figuring things out and really embracing this, stepping all the way in. To continue giving your energy. I feel too like you're learning the best ways to invest as well, in ways that make sense for you and your unique path, your unique journey. I also feel like you're having a breakthrough with some type of maybe like wounding that was holding you back. It feels like there's an emerging out of something that could have maybe been keeping you from what you wanted to be doing or where you wanted to be going or like what you wanted to be embracing. Because I'm seeing like a breakthrough with the Three of Swords. And so the Three of Swords is stuff that can sort of like tangle all around, and then because of this sort of taking up so much space, it doesn't allow us to sort of see clearly a perspective that would be needed. And this feels like emerging out of that, like coming out of that. And so it feels like you've even surpassed this in a way, like it's not holding you back anymore. So that's what I'm seeing be going on for December. With that being said, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I am sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.